We got our core four. Now we're gonna get to pitching. We've already spent $2 million on that one reliever. Okay. So we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 starters we want. Let me just do some math here. We usually like spending about $40 million, about 73% of our budget on that. It's 29.2. So that's going to be 29.2 divided by 5. So we're looking at about 5.8 million a starter, which is going to take us out of the budget of some like higher upper echelon guys like Randy Johnson. We still might go Randy Johnson and then just get a lower end 5th starter. Why am I saying Randy Johnson? Because the 2001 Diamondbacks, to me, are the Randy Johnson team. Okay, I'm not calling this guy a core 4 like I called Posey and Jeter and Mo. But this is a guy I know you got to separate the art from the artist, the player from the game sometimes. This guy deserves. I don't necessarily know if this guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for the numbers, but he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for the moments, right? The bloody sock, World Series MVP in 2001. He was on the team in 2007 as well. So we're going to look at 2001 Curt Schilling, 2004 Curt Schilling. Okay, nice. They're right next to each other. And then 2007 Curt Schilling. So 2007 Curt Schilling we're not going to take. He's sort of out of the question. These two are both really good. And this is 6-8, and we don't need as many innings as we usually do again because we're going with 5-man rotation. Doesn't give up hits, doesn't give up walks. I mean, it's hard to not take this guy. And we're going to take him. I was at the bloody sock game, by the way. It was like one of the most. It's funny to say this because it's like the Yankees lost, and I was rooting for the Yankees. But it was one of the wildest, like one of the most fun games to watch because they almost went insane and rioted after A-Rod slapped. No one knew that. By the way, no one knew in the crowd that A-Rod slapped the ball. They didn't make an announcement. They didn't put anything on the board. They didn't show a replay. It was like, oh man, the Yankees are tying the game up. Jeter scoring from first. A-Rod somehow got like beat out a ground ball to the pitcher. It was insane. And then all of a sudden they send Jeter back to first. They call A-Rod out. It was pandemonium. No one knew what happened. This was before smartphones. Like one guy had a regular cell phone and like was talking to his wife or his girlfriend. It was like, they're saying A-Rod smacked the ball out. It was absolutely crazy. Okay, so that's our first pitcher. Some other pitchers we have in mind here is our Matt Cain. We'll have him for the Giants. Mad Bum, Madison Bumgarner, Randy Johnson. He's going to be expensive, so I'm probably not going to go with Randy Johnson. Chris Carpenter on both of those Cardinals teams. There's Cole Hamels. I mean, there's a lot of pitchers. There's Mark Burley if we want innings. The Marlins guys don't really have a lot of innings. I don't know, Jared Washburn. Okay, we're going to look at – I'm just thinking like these guys are going to be expensive. I'm going to look at Carpenter and Cain because there's multiple versions of them. And there might be better pitch. I mean, maybe Mad Bum, but we're going to look at Carpenter first. I don't know if you want to Cy Young in either of these years, but 2011 and 2006. So 2006 is pretty expensive. 2011 is more in line with how much money we want to spend, but it isn't really doing it for me. Like a high on base, like high hits. Maybe we'll come back to Carpenter. This Carpenter's good, but this Carpenter's really good. Really gives up a little bit too many home runs, but good strike out the walk. It doesn't give up many hits. Okay, we're gonna take this Carpenter. Listen, I'm using pen, not pencil, so hopefully I don't have to go back and change a lot of stuff. But we're going Carp. As our next hitter. Okay, so 6'8", 6'6". What did we say? 5'8". So we're gonna need like some low fives. I am thinking that we're getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we only really have to average about 200 innings per. So we might be with the fact that we've gotten 225 on the first two guys means we can maybe get a couple 190s, 180s, which will bring the cost down as well. Let's look at Matt Cain. You know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna look at all. Yeah, I think we could do this. Okay, we're gonna look at all the Giant starters. With the use of filters, this will be not that bad. And since all those championships were sort of around each other, we'll go 2010, 2014, and we don't even need 14 because we can't go 14 because we got Posey for 14. So we can look at 10 and 12, San Francisco Giants. We can look at Cain, Madison, Bumgarner. Lincecum might be on one of these teams. Yeah. No, he's on 2011, which is not one we want. 11, we don't want. 12 and 10. Again, he's expensive. We want someone closer to about 5'5". Bumgarner, 12. A lot of home runs. I'm not sold on this, but possible. Lincecum, a little bit of a high whip. Jonathan Sanchez. Did we go off the board and go Jonathan Sanchez? He didn't give up. Did he throw a perfect game that year? Zito, no. Where's those 10 and 12? Those are the Kings. They were both too expensive. Okay, so there's a chance we go Bumgarner. Like, here's the question: do we go this Bumgarner or that Bumgarner? The thing that's concerning on this one is the home runs, but it is kind of in line with the salary that we want to spend. We're gonna, you know what? Let's go. Let's go. Send it. We're going Mad Bum. Like, if we're gonna have a World Series team, let's have some, World Series heroes. Okay, we've got two pitchers left. This 62 is gonna throw me off. And what are we saying? 5'8". So we want someone under 5'8", obviously. The Marlins guys, I don't think have enough innings. 12 we have off the board. I don't think the Cubs guys are going to be the Cubs guys might be too expensive. I'm thinking Lester. Lester was on that team, right? I'm thinking like Lester, Hendricks, Arrieta. Lackey's also on that team. This is actually not a bad Lackey year. Again, a lot of homers. Only 190 innings, but we might get the innings from the other guys. Doesn't really give him any hits. I mean, it's a good Lester year too, but unfortunately, I just don't have that money to spend on Lester. Jason Hamill. Okay, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go Lackey. Lackey wasn't on the Angels in 2002, was he? I'm just let's. I don't think he was on the Angels in 2000. I don't think he was on the Angels until 2002. Was he good in 2002? Not. I mean, he was good, but he didn't have a lot of innings. Okay, interesting. Okay, are we gonna go with Lackey? The only thing that's stopping me from going with Lackey is that part of me was intrigued by the thought of going Ben Zobrist at second base because he plays every position. But there is a Ben Zobrist Royal that we could go with. Okay, we're gonna go with Lackey because I think he kind of fits. Okay, we got to do some math right now. So we have about 26, 5, take him out, 24-5, which means what was the number we were thinking of? 9. So it's 29 minus 24.5. Am I doing my math right, guys? Is that right? 29, 26, 24. All right. So we have a little less than 5 million. And how many innings do we need? 910 minus 62. 910 minus 62. You guys can make fun of me in the comments for not being able to do simple math. Because I'm going to have to do math one more time. And then I'm going to have to do 1,000 minus 1,000 minus 848. I mean, like, I could just go to 850 and figure this out. 150 innings. Okay. So we don't necessarily need, again, we could go with like 170 inning guy that could be cheaper. Okay. Lackey is gone here. Was Lackey on? Now I'm like going down a John Lackey hole. Was Lackey also on one of these Red Sox teams that won a championship? He was on 13. Oh, so Lackey? 3-time champion. Okay. Yeah, you deserve to be on this team, John Lackey. You're a 3-time champion, for Christ's sake. You deserve to be on this team. We like it. We like John Lackey here on this team. He makes sense. Speaking of guys who make sense. We're going to look at a little COVID years because I think the Dodgers have – so right now, the two teams I have in mind right now for these like fifth starter, this kind of swing fifth, are the Dodgers and the Marlins, because I think the Dodgers were one of these teams that had a bunch of relievers that like a bunch of stars that kind of weren't inning eaters. And so like we might be able to get like a good price for like not a lot of innings. 2020. Wait, wrong Los Angeles. I'm like looking at these guys. I'm like, man, their pitchers stunk. Okay, this is better. Yeah, okay. I don't know if we're gonna get enough innings. Okay, too expensive, but has the right idea. Urias. I saw this guy's first game ever against the Mets. I was at Citi Field. It was Citi Field at the time. He was not good that game, but this is not a bad pitcher. I don't know if it's enough innings though. 152. It's basically enough innings. Okay, so we're gonna have him. I am gonna see 4.2. 4.3. I am gonna see if there's a Marlin. 2003 Marlin that makes more sense, because again, this was like Dontrelle Willis. This was like if you were riding the D train. Dontrelle Willis, Josh Beckett were both like young, and I don't think had a lot of innings. AJ Burnett might have also been in that same situation. Florida. They were Florida at the time, not Miami. Carl Pavano. And Carl Pavano might have had 200 innings. The other guys I think are like around 260. Carl around 200. No AJ Burnett yet. I guess Burnett hadn't joined the team yet. But like Dontrelle Willis is what I was thinking of. The D train. Beckett doesn't have enough innings. Rick Helling. He stinks, but I'm just kind of surprised he was there. Mark Redmond. I don't remember Mark Redmond. I remember Pavano, Penny, Dontrelle Willis, Josh Beckett. Last out of the 2003 World Series. And Josh Beckett does win another championship with the Red Sox, and I think he might have won a World Series MVP as well. That doesn't mean we're going to take him. I'm just curious. World Series MVP, 2-time World Series champion. Okay. I think we're going to go with your Julio. He does have more innings. I mean, he's a fun guy, Dontrelle Willis. It would be like kind of like a fun guy to pick. Do we want to go fun, or do we want to go smart? Fun or smart, guys? Vote down there, because like Dontrelle Willis is like kind of a fun guy. And then the 2020 Dodgers, they might have some interesting, like they'll have Seager, Bellinger, Betts. Like if I'm not going 2003 Marlins, like who am I going with? Lowell or like a reliever? Hmm. I just think that Julio is too good to pass up. Sorry. Sorry guys. We gotta go Julio here. Um Los Angeles Dodgers. He's just a little too good. He's just a little too good. We do get 12 more innings, but we're just buying him a little bit more. Okay, so all right. We're a little under 1,000 innings with these guys, but I think we're good with the salary wise.